Hello, everyone. Welcome to Placement Coordinator Training. My name is Jennifer McGowan, and I'm the Council Recruitment and Placement Director. Also here with me is Kathy Drake, Council Placement Manager.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you so much for taking the time today to complete this training, and of course, thank you for all you do to support the girls and volunteers of GSCCC. We can expect the training to last about 30 minutes, maybe less. Naturally, you'll have some questions as we go through this training. We will probably address your questions as we proceed, but if we don't worry. You can have your questions answered by contacting Kathy at kathyd@gsccc.org. You can write that down now if you want to, but we're also going to have it on a screen in a few minutes. So by the end of the training, you'll have all the skills and tools you'll need to work with staff to find Girl Scout homes for each girl in your service unit. So I'm going to say ding every time I want Kathy to change the screens. So ding. And they're not changing. Ding, there we go. Okay, so let's talk about our learning objectives. At the end of this session, participants will be able to assist with special troop openings, describe the purpose of the opportunity catalog, and learn to assist with keeping it current and updated. That's huge. We'll talk about that in a little bit. You're going to understand why good communication back with your staff team is key. Ding. All right, so let's talk about your responsibilities. As the placement coordinator for the service unit, the key responsibilities are to track troop openings and share that information with the council placement team to help with the placement of girls. You'll encourage troop leaders to keep their troop information updated in the opportunity catalog using MyGS. So one thing to note there is that troop leaders will be required to submit a ticket through customer care at gsccc.org to update their troop information. Pretty much anything you need to know from anybody at council can be acquired by emailing customer care at gsccc.org. In this case, what they'll be using it for is to update their troop information for anything that they can't do on their own through MyGS. So you will also provide good communication and follow-up with troop leaders, the individually registered members, that's the IRM coordinator, and the council placement team. You're going to maintain communication with the service unit program consultant to keep waitlist girls engaged in service unit and council events. They've registered as Girl Scouts. They may not be in a troop yet, but they can definitely participate in our council and your service unit events. So you want to keep in touch with your service unit program consultant to make sure they have access to that. So you are the vital link between the council placement specialist and the troops. You know which troop leaders will take an extra girl or two and which troop leaders will stay at the minimum. You guys know who they are. You know who you can call and say, hey, you've got this girl, she needs a spot, or the ones who are going to say, nope, I'm at 12 and that's where I stay. So you guys are the experts on that. If there's a special circumstance and a girl needs placement in an accepting troop, you'll know which troop that is. So an example of that might be a young lady who has Down syndrome and needs a troop. You're going to know what troop in your area is going to be the best fit for that girl and her caregiver. There's other examples that we can probably think of. We might run through those later. So you will encourage troops to open their hearts and their troops to another girl too, even if they feel they're full. So you guys are going to be the ones that are going to talk them into a few things. So ding. All right, let's talk about the placement team. With practice and guidance from your council placement specialist, you'll be able to place girls in troops, and the placement specialist will work very closely with you. Communicate with your placement specialist at least once a week. So I'm going to turn it over to Kathy, and she's going to talk to you about who the placement specialists are and how to reach them.
Maya Pettit is one of our membership or our placement specialists, and Heather Gilbert is also a placement specialist. So either one of those ladies can assist you with the questions you might have in regards to placement. If you need to contact me, my email address is listed as well, and we work together as a team, and if you can't get one of us, you can get another one of us. We pretty much cross the service unit boundaries to work placement.
Ding. Okay, so this is something that you as a volunteer may not be familiar with because this isn't how you register. You register or re-register by using MyGS. So a new volunteer, however, is going to use our screens from the gsccc.org page. They're going to click on Join Us, and that is going to take them to a screen where they're going to click Join Us again. That's just how the screens are set up. And this is the first screen they're going to see. So let's take a look at what a new parent or volunteer sees when they're completing the registration process. They're going to see one of these two screens. One is for the girl registration, that's on the left, and one is for the adult registration, and that is on the right. When they submit this page of information, this is very basic information. So we've got the girl first name, last name, her zip code, the grade she's going into, a little bit about their caregiver information, the email, which is vital because that's how we do most of our communicating with our parents, their phone number, and then the only field that's not required, but of course we love to know, is how they heard about us. So once they click on that, that takes them to the next screen of ways to participate. Ding. All right, she's ahead of me on the dings. Okay, so now we're going to help them select a troop. On this page, parents or volunteers can search for a troop for their daughter and volunteer opportunities for themselves. So on the left is what they would see if they're registering a girl, and on the right is what they would see if they're registering themselves or another adult. If a troop is not available in their area, in the area that fits their needs, they can expand their search to nearby areas by increasing the radius or miles they're willing to travel. So you'll see on the screen that they can put in their zip code. And so just a tip on that zip code. The zip code is measuring from the center of the zip code. So it's possible that if they put in their zip code and they put in that they're willing to drive 5 miles, that they get something that's a little further or maybe a little closer to them. They'll say, well, that's not 5 miles from my house, that's only 3 miles. Well, because it's measuring it from the center of the zip code, which is typically the post office for that zip code. So just keep that in mind as folks are searching. If they're still unable to find a troop, they can select unsure. When they select unsure, a box is going to pop up, and they'll be able to put in that box exactly why they're unsure. So it might be that they can't find a troop in their area. It might be that they have a particular troop in mind that they want to join, but that troop didn't come up. Could be a plethora of reasons that they're unsure about what troop they want to go into. That information goes right to Kathy's team, the placement team, and then they can help them find an appropriate troop. So let's see. The other thing they can choose is individually registered member. So there's some folks who join us and know that they're not interested in a troop experience, and so they're going to sign up as an individually registered member. You guys might know that as Juliet's from if you've been around for a while. At this point, parents can also, I already did that part. At this point, you also would want to know that you could get lots and lots and lots and lots of troops that pop up, and they might not be able to find one that meets on the day they need. So that might be another reason they pick unsure. So that box is important, and it's really important to Kathy's team. So ding. Okay, the next page is the membership page. This one's where we gather all the information that we need to know about them. So on this page, we're capturing household information for both the girl and the adult, or the girls for their school information. Here's something interesting about the school information. That is where everybody gets hung up. If you type out the whole name of the school, sometimes it won't come up. It's searching our database of schools in the entire country for the right school. So it might say they can't find a school, but if you just type in the first few letters of the school and then hit that little, what is that? That's a magnifying glass. It's the search. It's going to give you a list of schools that have a similar name, and then they can click it. Almost always you're going to find it that way. Otherwise, they can select school not found, and that's fine too. We can work that out later. Anything with a red asterisk is required and must be completed to move forward.
Something else to note, it was the form as we created this PowerPoint. GSUSA has updated this, and the racial ethnic also appears on this just above where the school box is. So just an FYI.
So something else interesting about that field is it functions a little bit differently than the rest of them. They're going to select their race, and then they have to click a little arrow that's right next to it to move it over. You'll see that when you hop on there with them. Hopefully it's self-explanatory. I'm not so sure that it is. So there's your tip for the day on your entering your ethnicity. All right, ding. All right, the next screen is the registration summary. This slide shows the parent exactly what they're ordering and gives them the chance to go back and edit if they need to. This is also the point that they can add other memberships. So a lot of times a parent will start off by registering their daughter, and then they'll say, well, I want to add a and then they want to add another girl. That's great. They just click on add another membership. They might want to register themselves. We certainly are encouraging that. We want as many adults to register as possible because we want them to be members and covered by the same insurance that the girls are when they participate with their daughter. So we always want to encourage that. What that does then takes them back to the beginning. They start putting the information in for the next member. All right, ding. The next one is the membership registration acceptance. On this screen, parents are accepting membership by reading the Girl Scout Promise and Law and opting in or out of emails, texts, and photographs. That's it for that one. Ding. The next screen is the order summary. This is the order screen that confirms the amount of the membership or memberships and gives families an opportunity to donate to Girl Scouts if they so choose. Ding. And now we've got the payment screen. This is the payment screen. Parents will enter their credit card information on this screen. Once they hit confirm, the registration is complete, and the parents will be asked for a brief optional survey. So if you get a family who gets to this point and they say, we can't pay right now, we'd like to pay later, Kathy and her team are going to follow up with them to make sure they make payment. You may also get somebody who's paying by, maybe they're paying by check or cash or something like that. Maybe that's come through the service unit. You would stop here, and then again, our team back here at the office is going to make sure that that gets processed correctly. So, all right, that is how someone might get registered in a little different way than you guys are registering, right? All right, let's talk about this opportunity catalog that everybody's been hearing about for, gosh, about a year now. So you'll often hear us refer to the opportunity catalog. It's not really a catalog or a listing. It's not something you can put your hands on, and we can't really print it out like a roster. It's really a compilation of data in Salesforce. When a prospective member is looking for a troop, it pulls information from Salesforce to provide them with a choice of troops in their area. I liken it to shopping on Amazon. I'm an Amazon junkie, and I love Amazon. So when I'm shopping on Amazon and I type in what I'm looking for, it doesn't give me a list of things. It's pulling from a database. It's pulling from all the things that might fit the description of what I'm looking for. And that's exactly how Salesforce functions too. The Opportunity Catalog is an online listing of troop openings for girls and volunteer opportunities for adults. The listing includes the meeting time, approximate location, the troop number, and age and grade level. The exact location is never listed because we want to protect the troop. This is a public-facing document. Anyone can see this. Anyone who hops onto our website can see it. And we don't want to provide information for exactly where the girls are. We do have that information here stored here at Council, so we can provide that if it's needed. We just give a general sense of the location, likely a nearby intersection or landmark, and it's shared to help families select a troop that works best for them. Most folks will be able to say, oh, that must be meeting at the church, or it must be meeting at the school, or something like that. Sometimes troops choose to include a description that shares their interests, including camping, faith-based, community service, or travel. This allows girls with common interests to join in troops, where they'll find girls who are doing the same kind of stuff that they want to do. So that's great for letting people know, hey, we do a lot of camping, so maybe if camping's not your gig, maybe you want to choose the next troop who maybe is more into travel or into community service. So it's great if you can encourage your troop leaders to fill that information out. It helps folks choose an appropriate troop. So for this reason, we want to make sure that everyone keeps it up to date. We want to make sure everybody has an accurate description of what their interests are, because we don't want girls to get into a troop and then have to change it. Okay, so every troop must have a minimum of 2 unrelated, registered, and appointed volunteers, meaning we're also going to do a background check on those volunteers. So we recommend a troop size of 12 or more girls to provide a diverse, interactive experience. At Colonial Coast, our average troop size is 12, and many troops have more. It all depends on your volunteer support and your program level. If troops do not have 12 girls, open for more than 12 girls, or have volunteer roles that need to be filled, their information will be posted in the Opportunity Catalog to fill the vacancies. So if you don't have more than 12, you're not going to show up. Kathy's going to talk about that in a few minutes about what that might look like. So for example, if Troop 123 has 8 girls, the Opportunity Catalog would show 4 openings for the troop. Troops can request removal from the Opportunity Catalog if there are extenuating circumstances. That's going to be reviewed by the placement team on a case-by-case basis. We really do want everyone to show up in the Opportunity Catalog. So it's important that the council placement specialist and the service unit placement coordinator know how many girls are on the opt-out troops list in order to place girls in their troops, in order to not place girls in their troop. Members who do not renew by October 1st will become inactive members, and spots will open up and be made available in the opportunity catalog. So that's why it's super important to do your early registration when you can, because you want to secure your girl's spot in the troop. Otherwise, October 1, it's going to open up. So encourage girls to register their girls for new membership year prior to October 1. Ideally, troops should renew girls in the early renewal and take advantage of those incentives being offered. I hope some of you guys got some of those. Even if girls are undecided about returning, encourage them to register early to secure their spot. You don't want them to decide later on after October 1, well, I do want to stay, and now there's not a spot in that troop for them. So troops will update their troops information in the opportunity catalog by logging into their member profile under MyGS. Remember, you can get to that from our homepage at gsccc.org. Upper right-hand corner says MyGS. Again, we'll reiterate that if the troop has changes, they'll need to submit those changes to customer care at gsccc.org. So to review, girls who are not re-registered for the new year will lose their spot in the troop. For example, if you had 10 girls last year and only 6 girls re-registered, then you now have 6 openings in your troop. The openings will be shown in the opportunity catalog. So Kathy, do you have anything to add about that 12-member troop?
Yes, some common things that we are seeing from our customers are that their troop is not showing up in the opportunity catalog, and what happens usually is if they give us a number like they want 12 girls, once they hit the 12 girls, it doesn't show in the opportunity catalog anymore. So if they do want to open up to new members, they need to let us know by contacting customer care at gsccc.org. That's one of the fields that a troop leader cannot edit. It has to be done on our end. So if you do have troop leaders that would like to accept more members, please submit a ticket to customer care and we'll be happy to take care of that. Also, we have a lot of multi-grade level troops. Something we can do too to kind of control what grade level is going in there. If you have a lot of daisies but you need more brownies or juniors, we can eliminate specific grades out of the opportunity catalog, and only the grade levels that you're looking for will appear on the opportunity catalog. But what the leaders need to understand too, though, is it only knows that there are 8 spots available. So if they want to only open it up to 4 second graders and 4 third graders, they'll need to keep track of that. So, and as soon as they hit the 4, they need to let us know so we can remove the grade level that has already been filled.
So very good point, Kathy. Another thing that troop leaders can do with that is in their troop description, they can update that as often as they want to, and they can say things like, we're looking for second graders, we're looking for third graders. And so when the families are looking for their troop, they can look at the troop notes and see that that particular troop might be looking just for exactly what they need, and that might be a spot for a third grader. So encourage them to keep that description up to date as well. And please encourage them to keep in touch with the placement team. So ding! All right, let's talk about placing girls. That's why we're here, right? So as a placement coordinator for your service unit, you'll be helping to place girls. The placement specialist will contact you if there's a girl trying to find a troop, as you may know of a troop in your service unit who's accepting girls and not listed in the opportunity catalog. So what we're trying to say basically is that if a girl finds a spot by doing those steps that we just talked about, by registering, searching for her zip code, finding a range, she finds a troop, we're not going to call you for that. We're going to go ahead and place them. They've actually just placed themselves. We're going to be calling you guys for the ones that are a little tougher. The ones where we say, hey, we've got this second grader, she really wants the troop. We see that troop 105 has, doesn't have a lot of girls in it, and they're not in the opportunity catalog. What do you think about talking to this leader about taking this young lady? So that's the kind of stuff we're looking at. So something you should know about our recruiting methods is that the recruitment specialists have adopted a new method of recruiting for the upcoming year. The objective at each recruitment is to start new troops. As the placement coordinator, you can assist us by having your wait list with you at these recruitments, or providing it to someone who's going to be at the recruitment. Your recruitment specialist will also have a list of the troops that have current openings. That list will only be used as a last resort, as the key to successful recruitment is to start new troops. So we're going to do everything we can during those recruitments to start new troops, get leaders, and get the girls at that recruitment placed in those troops. But we may also be placing them in existing troops, so it's important to keep that opportunity catalog up to date. So how will I acquire this list to know who is on the wait list? Just as troop leaders are the DP, or direct primary leader of their troops, you are the direct primary leader of your service unit waitlist campaign. So when we say campaign, we mean troop. So you've got a waitlist troop in your service unit, and you are the DP, or the direct primary, or the leader for that troop. So you'll be able to see that information. The service unit program consultant will also be a DP in this campaign, because we want to make sure we have 2 people who can access that information. The purpose of this is to keep the girls and adults engaged and informed of upcoming service unit and council events. The waitlist campaign is a listing of girls and adults waiting for troop placement. The goal is to have all girls and adults placed. Ding. All right, so let's talk about communication. Communication is key when placing girls and adults in troops in a timely manner. As the placement coordinator, there is an expectation of weekly check-in with your council placement specialist. You will be the link between her and your troops. You and the service unit recruitment champion will also work together. As the recruitment champion goes to recruitments, she will let you know what openings are available. If she's aware that you need a Girl Scout Daisy troop leader, then she can concentrate on recruiting one in your area. Communication with troop leaders in your service unit is also vital. Gaining valuable information about whether or not they are open to more girls will make placement even easier. Communicate with the individually registered member coordinator and the program consultant. They should be aware of any girls and adults in the waitlist campaign. Communication on upcoming events will keep girls and adults engaged while they're waiting for a troop to become available. Our hope is that as they're waiting, they're not waiting by idly, and they're actually participating in Girl Scouts. So that keeping that line of communication open with those folks is important. So keep the lines of communication open with everyone and communicate weekly. All right, ding. So that brings us to the end of the training. As promised, we covered these 3 items. Develop a plan to track troop openings, describe the purpose of the opportunity catalog, and understand why good communication is key. If you have any questions we didn't answer during the presentation, please email your questions to Kathy Drake at kathyd@gsccc.org. Ding! So, thank you. As a placement specialist, you are a key player in bringing the Girl Scout experience to life for girls and adults in your area. We value and celebrate your dedication, and we thank you so much for joining us as we embark on a new membership year.